Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another episode of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty. I'm so glad to be here this evening. Yes, I know some of you may have missed me at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, but there's going to be a few changes. We're still going to come on at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, okay? It may not be 5 days a week, but I might be able to commit 2. Don't worry, we're going to talk about all of that. I'm going to produce live content and multiple videos throughout the week. I promise you, you're going to get the quality that you need when you come over here for entertainment and education when we talk about the sport and the business of boxing. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Whoever's here, they're here. Whoever's not, they can watch the replay, but we going right in. I got a few things to get off my chest this evening, and I'm glad to be able to do it here. Y'all the Roller Tape family, so you know I always come with y'all. I come with y'all when it's time to stand up. We together, we united, we're a united front. I come to you all when it's time for me to expose the truth, and we have to do that tonight. This is going to be a very, very controversial live. I already know it is, because a lot of people have an issue with me speaking on Ryan Garcia. And of course, you know, Ostarine situation, and I get that. But right now, it's too many people coming out the woodwork, and I just want to address it. Because everybody knows at this point, I'm an anti-doping advocate. And I didn't know that I had been that for almost 16 years. But I'm the true anti-doping advocate. I mean, we've heard Victor Conte publicly state that he is, but we know now that he is not. I'm not here to get mad at the guy. I'm just here to keep it 100 and keep my credibility intact. With that being said, man, I'm telling y'all, I need the air fryer to warm up to 500 degrees quickly. I promise you, I won't hold you all too long this evening. And I really, really genuinely mean that every time I say that. I have to eat dinner with the family, so I won't be long. I just have to get this off my chest. Now, why would I call a psychologist or a psychiatrist? I don't need either two of those. The only way I can get this off my chest when it comes to boxing is the Roll the Tape film crew, my Roll the Tape family. We at the family cookout tonight. So why not talk as a family? Double salute to Jab Queen Boxing. She's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. She just plugged the air fryer up, and she's the one that said in the super chat, turn the air fryer on. I just turned it on. And every monetary contribution we receive, I guarantee you will go right back into this channel so that I can continue to do what I do. And what I do is to provide you all with thought-provoking topics, perspectives. All of my perspectives are usually thought-provoking and make you turn off my content and think about what I'm saying and use the intelligence that you all have. And so I'm glad that the air fryer is on and it's time to warm it up. Now, let me start this off the right way. Welcome, each and every last one of you. Come on in, grab a plate. Grab a plate. I promise you this, I got some, listen now, I got some food for thought. And for all of my educated audience members, I have some food for thought, okay? Grab a plate now. Grab a plate. I want to serve you some food for thought. Come on in. I know we usually do the check-in, the town watch check-in, but tonight we can't do the town watch check-in because I don't want to use this limited time that we have together as a family to do the Town Watch check-in due to the fact that we're on time constraints. I'm going right in. Listen, we need the air fryer to warm up. I'm talking about quickly, too. I got to show my face for this. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't do lives. I have to give y'all all of me. I mean, I can turn my camera off. And that's not it. Listen, if I turn my camera off, that means I really cannot do like the whole experience with coming up here live and showing my face and all of the things that I do to entertain you all, like my facial expressions, my voice inflections, my hand movements, all that's a part of entertainment. But at the end of the day, I'm passionate about this. I wasn't even going to be able to do a live tonight, y'all. But I couldn't go an entire evening thinking about what I want to say tonight. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do a quick live. I'm going to go to my roller tape family. Whoever's here at the cookout, they're here. Whoever's not here, hopefully they can watch it on the replay. I'm doing way too much talking. Now, I'm going to get at you like this. I told people about a phone booth, and somebody was here live in the live chat on when the last time we go live, y'all? What's the day? Tuesday? We went live Monday. Yesterday, right? Yesterday morning, and that's when you know the conspiracy. There's always a conspiracy against me. I get it. It's online. My channel is shadow banned. Okay? We get that. My thing is this with StreamYard. Every now and then when I'm on StreamYard, right? We have all this static and like trying to disrespect my Wi-Fi. Like, come on, StreamYard. Y'all know the Wi-Fi. Stop it. Anyway, my point, the point is that we had some technical difficulties yesterday, so I had to end the show earlier than expected. And in fact, the air fryer was warming up, and so was the show. I mean, we had Jab Queen Boxing up here talking. I mean, she was heating this thing up. But I told y'all yesterday morning, and somebody was in the live chat. I have the screenshot right here if y'all don't believe me. And they said to me that Devin Haney was not suspended for 8 months. That's a lie. He went on a family vacation for a year and took some time off. Y'all remember that? Devin Haney said it, and so did Bill Haney several times in the past couple of months, that they took a whole year off intentionally to spend time with their family, go on vacation, step away from boxing. But I told y'all that that was not true. I told you all the truth. The truth was, and none of the other content creators brought this up. None of them. Even the Devin Haney favorable or pro Devin Haney channels. But Devin Haney was suspended. I told you all that by the phone booth. Most of you believe me, and some of you did not. And that's okay. I told you all that he was suspended. He was actually suspended until he actually came back, which was 8 months. 8 months from the Ryan Garcia fight. So double salute to each and every last one of the members of this channel and supervisors of the Road to Tape film crew. And also, you see their logo on the screen and you see their contact information scrolling at the bottom of your screen. They are sponsors of this channel. They're sponsoring this live. In fact, they're friends of mine. They're friends of the channel. And I have conducted business with them for multiple years in the last 15 years. Cortland Manus LLC, their personal injury lawyers in Pennsylvania and in New Jersey. 267-457-4201 is their number. And of course, their website is wefightwewin.com. And you're going to see more and more and more sponsors joining with me on this channel for advertisement purposes, because I want to bring all of you the best that I have and the resources that I have to set my channel apart from all the others. Now, enough with the hugs, handshakes, and Valentine's Day card. I need all of you to look at your screen. I told people that Devin Haney was suspended for 8 months for medical reasons. And some people did not believe. I have absolutely no reason to lie. Nobody. I've been on YouTube, what, 2 years or something like that? 2 years? Maybe a little over 2 years. You can't find one video on my channel through the shorts, through live broadcasts, or even videos where I ever lied to any one of you, ever. And speaking of that, bam, go and look at your screen. I love when I roll the tape. Now, somebody's going to say, Manager Marty, that was old. Somebody can say, Manager Marty, what you see on your screen and what I see on my screen about Devin Haney being suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission indefinitely, that's old. That picture was a week after Ryan Garcia fought Devin Haney. Well, I have a question for you if you believe that. Then how come on December the 14th, 2024, I screenshotted it at 5:55 p.m.? I screenshotted it because I wanted to make sure I kept this. I told y'all, and I got to show my face for this part. I told y'all, I got to take my glasses off too. Anytime I speak on anything publicly, you know I have the proof. You know I have the evidence, don't you? You know I have it locked in the vault. You know that, don't you? If you don't know, you know now. I'm going to put that back on the screen because I want people to see Devin Haney was suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission indefinitely. I screenshotted it on December the 14th, 2024. Now, if my math served me correctly, he fought Ryan Garcia on April the 20th, 2024, correct? Let's do the math, ladies and gentlemen. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So as of December of 2024, Devin Haney was literally suspended for a minimum of 8 months. How do we know that? Because on December the 14th, 2024, I screenshotted. This was on BoxRec. I just wanted to make sure we were clear before we get the show started. That's all. What the moderator? I gotta show my face. I gotta show my face. I gotta show my face. Moderators. Let me show my family here. The family here. Now I want to make sure we clear. My God, they better stop playing. Okay, all things. Okay, thank you. All things. Thank you. I knew my family was here. Thank you, Cash. Thank you. I figured that was a fake account. Somebody's in a live chat with an image and a name that says Blue Blood Sports TV. Now, I know that wasn't him. Hey, Creole, we know it wasn't him. Jab Queen, we know it wasn't him. That was a fake account. All things, thank you, All Things in Cash. Cash Crypto, we knew that wasn't him. He wouldn't dare come over and talk to me. I would love for Blueberry, I would love for him to come talk to me. But I know it wasn't him. Now, let's get on with the show. I want to first bring something to your attention. Okay, I have to do this. Go and look at your screen. Shout out to YSM Sports Media. YSM Sports Media, his YouTube channel, conducted an interview with Breadman Edwards, who is the coach of Caleb Plant. I'm going to roll the tape and play back a piece of the audio of the things that he said. And then I wanted to expound on that because I have a few questions. and I need answers, and we need answers. I'm not mad at Breadman. He's from my city, my hometown of the great city of Philadelphia. Okay? I just had some questions for him. That's all. No, it's just the fact that he mentioned publicly about, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so I'm going to play the audio. I'm going to play the audio now. Once again, this is a shout out to YSM Sports Media. His platform asked Breadman Edwards, Stephen Breadman Edwards, a question about Ryan Garcia. I just had some questions. Now, here's the thing. Some of you might not know this. One of the first interviews that I've conducted on this channel, I only had a YouTube, the YouTube channel, for about maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. And I actually interviewed Breadman, Stephen Edwards. I interviewed him, actually. Some of y'all, probably wasn't around then. But, oh, yeah, I interviewed him. But this audio that I'm about to play now is not an interview from me. This is from YSM Sports Media. Let me get to the double salute to my guy. He's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Road to Tape film crew, Gregory Quarterbaum. And Mr. Greg, thank you, Mr. Greg, said in the super chat, the haters can't stay away. They want to get a plate of fresh bread for free. I have to agree with you, Mr. Greg. And Mr. Greg is responding to the fake account that said it was Blue Blood Sports TV. Somebody used Blue Blood Sports TV name to get us to think that it was really Blue Blood Sports TV. And it's unfortunate that they would disrespect that man and use his name, to come here. But like Many Face Publishing always tell me, I'm doing way too much talking. So don't take my word for it.
On social, in the gym, and put it all over social media. Say that, Ryan probably should have been able, with his skill set, his punching power, he should have been able to knock Raleigh out. The fact that he couldn't come close to it, or really didn't really go for it like that, it is suspicious. I mean, it gotta be, right? The performance has to be suspicious. Put it this way, he didn't do himself any favors for making people believe that his test was like an innocent thing and he can perform without that stuff. That's what I'm going to say.
Those were the words of Stephen Breadman Edwards. He was referring to Ryan Garcia. He basically said that Ryan Garcia's performance looked different compared to when Ryan Garcia fought Devin Haney. And of course, as we know, Ryan Garcia tested positive for trace amounts of ostarine immediately following that fight. And then in his last fight against Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia looked hesitant, like he did not want to physically engage with Rolly Romero. And with that being said, look, that performance, according to other people, looked highly suspicious. In fact, he looked different. Now, I have a question on that. How come when I was saying that certain professional fighters who's rolling with Victor Conti in the SNAC program, when I told people they look different, how come people didn't give me the same respect, the same freedom to express myself and my perspective? I mean, Ryan Garcia's performance looked different, and people are saying it's because simply he was using performance enhancement drugs when he fought Devin Haney to intentionally cheat Devin Haney because he tested positive. I think that's a fair assessment. But I'm trying to figure out, when I told people that Devin Haney performance was enhanced, Terrence Crawford performance was enhanced, Demetrius Andre performance was enhanced, Clarissa Shields' performance was enhanced, Shakur Stevenson's performance was enhanced. Bam Bam Rodriguez's performance was enhanced. And of course, Caleb Plant, his performance was enhanced. How come when I was talking about when these fighters' performances were enhanced, people called me a hater? But lo and behold, when Ryan Garcia looked different to people, and his performance allegedly looked enhanced when he fought Devin Haney, people can say that, no problem. But when I said it, I was the bad guy. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when I told y'all that Terrence Crawford performance looked different, looked suspicious, when he fought Errol Spence? You know what people kept calling me? Butthurt, because Errol Spence lost. I'm a goofy. I'm a clown. I was salty. I'm a hater. I want to show y'all something, because I got a question for Breadman on that. Now, some people might say, well, Manager Marty, who is Breadman Edwards? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. That's Caleb Plant trainer. And that's another fighter. There's another fighter that's from my city who Breadman trained, Julian J. Rock Williams. But you know what Julian J. Rock Williams and Caleb Plant have in common? I gotta take my glasses off to say this. They both are with Victor Conti and the SNAC program. I got a question on that. But before I ask my question, I have to first set the table. I got to set the table first before I serve you this food for thought. Some people might say, well, who is Breadman? Go and look at your screen. Some of y'all were here with me last week and the week before that. Go and look at your screen when Victor Conti went on X, formerly known as Twitter, and he shouted out the boxing trainers that roll with SNAC. Some of y'all might not remember this, and some of you may not have been here. So what I'm going to do is read it for you. And we all can read it together at the same time, class. A Noop. I like Noop Warlock. I appreciate his support to the channel. Double salute to Noop Warlock. Thank you for your contribution and your support, man, to the channel. Noop Warlock brought the air fryer up to 375 degrees. In the super chat, Noop says, Tanks and Boots performance also looked enhanced. I don't agree with that. But I appreciate your perspective. And look, that's fine. If you believe that Tank and Boots performance looked enhanced, I mean, that's cool. I don't know what they have to do with what we're talking about now. But I will say this, for those of you that might not recall what's on your screen. I'm going to read it for you. Victor Conti tweeted this 2 weeks ago. Now, let me do this because I want people to know when he did it. Bam, go and look at your screen. Actually, I spoke on it 2 weeks ago, but he actually tweeted it on April the 5th. So I have to correct myself on that. I spoke on it because I saw it 2 weeks ago. This is the words of Victor Conti. And I actually highlighted Stephen Edwards' name and circled it so that, you know, people can see who I'm referring to in this video, this live. Shout out to elite boxing trainers. And I quote, many in boxing know who some of the elite SNAC boxers are. But I would also like to acknowledge some of the elite boxing trainers that are members of Team SNAC system: Virgil Hunter, Bo Mack, Robert Garcia, Stephen Edwards, Bob Santos, Bill Haney, Andre Rozier, and Bones Adams. Some of them have been selected as trainers of the year. These are the words of Victor Conti. Okay? He pointed out Stephen Edwards because Julian J. Rock Williams and Caleb Plant are trained by Stephen Edwards. Okay? Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, what does this have to do with Ryan Garcia? Everything. I'm gonna replay what Stephen Edwards said earlier today. It was published on YSM Sports Media's platform in an interview. I'm gonna play it again. Okay? And then I'll be able to answer your questions that you may have. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
Say that. You know, Ryan probably should have been able, with his skill set and his punching power, he should have been able to knock Raleigh out. The fact that he couldn't come close to it, or really didn't really go for it like that, it is suspicious. I mean, it gotta be, right? The performance has to be suspicious. Put it this way, he didn't do himself any favors for making people believe that his test was like an innocent thing and he can perform without that stuff. That's what I'm going to say.
Those were the words of Stephen Breadman Edwards. Now, as the anti-doping advocate, I must admit, I have an issue when people that roll with the SNAC program speak on other people's performance as being suspicious or enhanced. I actually think it's hypocritical if you ask me. And I have my reasons for saying that. The bottom line is this. I think everybody should be entitled to their perspective. You know? I mean, look, even Breadman, he should be entitled to his perspective. But I have an issue with people who roll with the SNAC program and Victor Conti. I have an issue with them talking about performance enhancing or performance enhancing drugs or anything with regards to performances being enhanced, or even if someone else tests positive for performance enhancement drugs. I think they disqualify themselves inadvertently when they connect themselves with Victor Conti and the SNAC program and the suspicious cloud that not only travels with him everywhere he goes, but it travels with them everywhere they go. And it makes them sound hypocritical when they bring it up or mention anything about someone else's performance being enhanced or obviously being caught up in performance enhancing drugs. So that's why I'm speaking on it openly now. Double salute again to my guy, Mr. Gregory Quarterbomb, spinning the block, turning the air fryer up to 400 degrees. Mr. Greg says in the super chat, Victor is so slowly slithering into boxing. It's just a matter of time before he has most of the elite boxers and trainers using and endorsing SNAC. Those were the words of Mr. Greg. And Mr. Greg, I have to agree with you. I mean, look, the bottom line is Victor Conti is here. And Victor Conti has slithered his way into boxing. He called it the red light district, obviously for reasons that appear so obvious to us because of the lack of stringent regulation and authorities to prevent and hinder people such as Mr. Victor Conte to enter this sport. I mean, let's keep it real. Victor Conte can't go to any other sport and do what he is doing in boxing. So that's why I'm talking about this. It's not a personal attack against Stephen Edwards, aka Breadman. But I got a question on that though. Enough with the hugs, handshakes, and Valentine's Day cards. Quick question. Since Breadman spoke on Ryan Garcia and how his performance is suspicious, I got a question on that. Breadman, if you are an elite trainer, I'm not saying you are, I'm not saying you're not. Victor Conte said you are an elite boxing trainer. I asked this question 2 weeks ago, and I'm still waiting for every trainer whose name that you see on your screen to answer it. So I figured since, Stephen Breadman Edwards did an interview earlier, you know what I mean? Or it was published earlier, I figured I could ask him, since we're on the topic of Ryan Garcia, performances being suspicious and performances being enhanced. Let me show my face because I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Breadman, quick question. According to Victor Conte, and it's on the screen right now, Victor Conte called, Breadman an elite trainer. I got a question on that. What did you go over there for? What did you call Victor Conte for to work with your fighter, J. Rock Williams? No, that's the question I always wanted to ask. I figured I'd ask it now. It's relevant now. I'm just asking. What did you call Victor Conte for? You're already an elite trainer. What did you call him for? No, the only reason I'm asking, because a lot of people might have forgot that if you look at your screen right now, SNAC system on IG, it states, and I quote, SNAC system, Victor Conte's sports nutrition company. SNAC offers products that improve your level of fitness, help lose fat, build muscle, and enhance performance. Okay? So if that's what SNAC does, enhance performance, then how can anybody that's rolling with Victor Conte and SNAC speak on other people enhancing their performance? Now, somebody might say, well, what about legally or illegally? Well, we can attack that right now. I mean, think about it like this. We knew that Ryan Garcia tested positive for Ostarine. Why? Because his test came back positive. Very simple. But what we don't know is when Terrence Crawford been tested by VADA. And how come they never publicized it and he's with SNAC? We also don't know if Caleb Plant was tested and when was the last time he was tested since he rose with SNAC. I'm not saying he was and I'm not saying he wasn't. What I am saying, though, is we have no record of it. So since we have no record of it, how can we then turn around and say that he's clean? Or any of the SNAC fighters clean when we have no record of it? You see my point? How can people trust the whole system when Victor Conte's influence is over there with VADA? I'm just asking questions. Hey, look, I'm not mad at anybody, but people shouldn't get mad at me either. But even if you do, what difference does it make? The truth has to prevail. Double salute to Nuke Warlock. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. And Nuke says this in the super chat. Tank went from knocking out Barrios to not being able to hurt Roach. Has anyone ever seen Tank's test results? He even got back pimples. We need answers. Well, let me start from the back and work my way up to the front of your sentence. I haven't seen Tank Davis having pimples on his back. I haven't. Now, if he have, I would like for you to email a screenshot of that. Because if he had, I'll ask Tank Davis the same question I asked everybody else. Now, with that being said, we never seen Terrence Crawford test results either. We never seen Devin Haney's test results. We never seen Clarissa Shields' test results. We never seen Demetrius Andre test results. We never seen Bam Bam Rodriguez test results. I mean, the SNAC fighters is where I'm getting at with that. We've never seen any of their results. Now, you talked about not being able to hurt Roach. Don't forget, Lamont Roach is he's really almost a 154-pounder. And Tank is a very small guy. So sometimes it be like that. When you're in the ring competing against a bigger opponent, naturally bigger is what I'm saying, sometimes you can't hurt him. And Lamont Roach is way bigger than Mario Barrios. So, look, some people have chins and some people don't. I mean, look, Mario Barrios just got knocked down in his last fight that was on Netflix. So, I mean, hey, it be like that sometimes. It's boxing. Sometimes you get caught with a good shot and go down, and sometimes you don't. Double salute to Ricky Dickey. Thank you for your contribution to the channel. Ricky says in the super chat, how do we get Breadman over here? We need answers. Well, Breadman was over here in February of 2023 when I conducted a brief interview with him. And I would love for him to come over and talk to me. Because I want to ask you something. I mean, Victor Conti's the one that publicized him and put him out there on blast, calling him an elite trainer. So I figure since he's calling him an elite trainer, here it is right here on your screen. If he's calling him an elite trainer, then that begs the question. Then what did you call Victor Conti for then? I'm just trying to figure out what he called him for. Now, somebody might say, well, what does this have to do with Ryan Garcia? And what does this have to do with performances being suspicious? Well, I'm going to give you two performances that I spoke on publicly for a long time now that I believe was suspicious. And I'm talking about the performances from Breadman's fighters that he trained. J-Rock, Julian Williams, and even Caleb Plant. Double salute, my guy, Jay Miller. Man, they warming the air fryer up. Thank you for your contribution and your support, Jay. Jay says this in the super chat to Mr. Greg. Some of these fighters won't get let in because their integrity will persuade them to speak up. Hashtag marked. Now, somebody might ask me a question on the performances that I'm referring to when I talk about Caleb Plant and when I talk about J-Rock, Julian Williams. Well, let's put it on the screen because some of you might have forgot about this. Bam, go and look at your screen. I want to make sure I lay the foundation properly so we'll know where we're going with this. I'm going to read it if you can't read your screen. This is my words. I put this together. I use this excerpt of what I said in this little snapshot that's on your screen from a video I published about the suspicion of SNAC fighters. And I'm going to read it to you. On February 17th, 2025, I informed my viewers that SNAC fighters have resurgences of punching power in round 1, 2, and 3, round 6, round 9, round 10 in their professional fights. Some of y'all remember that video, don't you? If you don't remember, or if you haven't gotten a chance to watch the video where this excerpt that's on your screen came from, please go back and watch it. Okay, it had Clarissa Shields, Terrence Crawford, and Shakur Stevenson on the cover of the thumbnail for suspicious of SNAC fighters. Okay, a couple of months ago. Okay, SNAC fighters have resurgences of punching power in round 1, 2 and 3, round 6, round 9, and 10 in their professional fights. Now let me tie this home and we're going to move on. I'm going to show you this right here. Bam, this Caleb Plant. Go and look at your screen again. On October the 15th, 2022, Caleb Plant knocked out Anthony Durrell in the 9th round. Y'all remember that? With one punch. And we never saw Caleb Plant knock anyone out cold, unconscious, with one punch. But, you know, that was Breadman fighter on a SNAC program, and he went in there and knocked Anthony Durrell out cold in Brooklyn, New York. In fact, I was actually at that fight at the Barclays Center. Okay? I was there live. It doesn't stop there. Look at your screen again. Bam. Another Breadman trained fighter. My guy. He's from Philly. Julian Williams. Caleb Plant and Julian Williams are good fighters. World champions too. But y'all remember when Jared Hurd, who was undefeated at the time, put his belts on the line to fight J. Rock Williams in his hometown. And J. Rock Williams not only dominated, but he knocked Hurd down in the 2nd round. You see what I'm talking about? Oh, okay. I'm just, hey, don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, because both of these guys were Breadman fighters. And I told y'all, look at your screen again, that SNAC fighters have resurgences of punching power. Round 1, 2, and 3, round 6, round 9, and 10. But I'm just trying to figure out when Caleb Plant knocked Anthony Durrell out cold with one punch. What round was that? Round 9. Huh? When Julian J. Rock Williams dominated Jared Hurd and took both of his belts and then knocked him down in, what round was that? Round 2. You see what I'm talking about? You ain't gonna find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad y'all here. That's all I'm saying. And we know that Breadman rode with Victor Conte because Victor Conte put him on blast last month. I highlighted his name and I circled it by calling him an elite boxing trainer that's rolling with the SNAC program. So since we're talking about performances being enhanced, I figure this is an opportunity because it's relative to the topic to ask Breadman, what did you call Victor Conte for? What did you go over there for? Why did you take Julian Williams over there? Why was his performance looking suspicious when he fought Jared Hurd? Why Caleb Plant performance looked suspicious when he knocked out Anthony Durrell with that one punch? Something we've never seen him do in his whole career. I'm talking about out cold, unconscious. You know, like when Terrence Crawford did that to David Evans. All right, I'm just asking a question. I'm not angry. I'm just asking. We're talking about performance enhancers, right? All right. I'm just saying, I just figured we can, I just figured we could start a conversation up about it. We need answers. And speaking of answers, let's get to this. This is going to be a 2-part. I got to do a 2-part series on this. Brian Norman Jr. and Boots. I got to do a 2-part series on this part. I don't have the time to finish it all up tonight. Maybe tomorrow or Thursday when I come back on, right? We'll deal with the second part of this. This is my thing, right? When it comes down to Brian Norman Sr., Brian Norman Jr., and the whole idea of fighting Boots and obviously trying to maximize their earning potential. I don't have a problem, professionally speaking or personally speaking, with any professional boxer or their representation, if they have some or have any, try to maximize their earning potential to negotiate a deal favorable to them to make the most money that they possibly can. I always tell y'all this, that boxing is the hardest hustle in America. So it's okay. What I don't understand is when the opportunity presents itself to maximize the earning potential, why not take it if it makes good business sense? Eddie Hearn went to Brian Norman Jr.'s representation, right? Went to his representation. Went to him, his dad. They negotiated. After the second negotiation fell through, according to all parties involved, including Eddie Hearn and Adrian Clark, the manager of representation of Brian Norman Jr. Eddie Hearn final offer was $1.2 million after the second negotiation. And somehow, some way, Eddie Hearn came back in the third round of negotiations and offered an additional $500,000. That's the minimum. I mean, we know what the math says because it all came out that it was a total of $1.75 million. $1.7 million to be given to Brian Norman Jr. to be compensated for fighting Jaron Boots Ennis in a unification bout. This is way before Boots fought Stanionis. This was last fall, to be exact. And they turned it down. I already conducted a live breaking down all the words that was said publicly by Adrian Clark in an interview. I shredded him to pieces. I exposed the fact that they acted like this was their first rodeo representing boxers, which I know it wasn't, but this was the biggest opportunity they had. And to me, they dropped the ball because I know the business of boxing. And Brian Norman Sr. has been public saying that his son will knock Boots out. Well, anytime a fighter say or believe in their heart that they can knock another fighter out, that means that they're willing to go just a few rounds with that fighter. So let's say, according to Brian Norman Sr., within 4 rounds, Boots will get knocked out by his son. So you mean to tell me for 4 rounds worth of work, let's do the math. What's 3 times 4? 12 minutes. You mean to tell me for 12 minutes, that's not enough to make $1.75 million? For 12 minutes worth of work, $1.75 million is not enough? And the only thing you're coming to the table with is a belt? When you never sold one ticket as the main headliner in your own hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, nor have you ever been on the undercard of a live, action-packed, anticipated pay-per-view. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about at the time that these negotiations were going on. Now, fast forward to the day. It's going to be 2 parts of this. I'm just trying to wrap it up real quick because we're on time constraints. You mean to tell me now y'all want $2-point-something million, right? Now y'all saying y'all ready to fight Boots after he fought Stanionis. But everybody in boxing already knows that there was a contract, negotiation, and now signed, sealed, and delivered for Brian Norman Jr. to fight Jin Sasaki in Japan in June. Now, Boots fought last month in April, right? So y'all about to fight in June. My thing is, why not wait until after Boots fought in April and then y'all can fight? But no, y'all signed the contract to fight Jin Sasaki in Japan. Now, in part 2, I'm going to break down the truth on how he's not going to make nowhere near that to fight Jen Sasaki. I'm talking about nowhere near what was offered to him the first time. The bottom line is this. He's not coming to the table with anything lucrative besides a belt. So there's no point of holding the belt hostage, holding the division hostage. Because at the end of the day, it's either you're going to fight Boots or you're not. There's no point of Brian Norman Sr. jumping on platform after platform after platform, speaking on these quote-unquote negotiations. You have a fight, your son have a fight coming up. Brian Norman Jr. has a fight coming up in next month. We shouldn't be talking about Boots right now. He's not fighting Boots. Let's get off of that right now. Let's get mentally prepared for Jen Sasaki, who's 19-1 with 17 knockouts, and he's from Japan. There's no guarantee that Brian Norman Jr. is going to win that fight. I hope he wins the fight, but this is boxing. And we have to talk about the business of it. Double salute to my guy, Day One supporter, DC Jaroy in the super chat. DC Jaroy says, Brother Marty, there you go, making sense again. You don't get answers because there aren't any, except the obvious. Bud is snacking his you-know-what off. I'm talking Scooby snacks and all. Thank you, DC Jaroy. I appreciate that super chat because I would have to agree with you. I don't get any answers that I'm asking questions to. Because you know why? The only answers are the obvious ones. I mean, y'all heard what I just said, right? About Caleb Plant and Julian Williams trainer Breadman. I would love to get that question answered, seriously. I really would. So all I'm saying to Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Jr. and their representation, y'all going through the media, that's not going to help. Brian Norman Sr., you going through the media, going on platform after platform, that's not going to help. It's either you going to fight, it's either Brian Norman Jr. is going to fight Boots or not. We know that Brian Norman Jr. is the B-side. I know you might not like my delivery with that, but it's facts. You can't make all of these demands as the B-side. Yes, you have a belt and you know Boots won it. We get that. But at the end of the day, if you really want to fight, just fight. Now, somebody might say, well, how do you know it's that easy to do? I'm going to leave you all with this and then come on back either tomorrow or Thursday. We're going to go live right again. And I'm going to break down the real business of boxing when it comes down to Brian Norman Jr. and Boots. And I'm going to really, really dig in a little bit deeper. Did you see how easy it was for Brian Norman Sr. to fight Greg Hackett? I'm just asking a question. Did you see how easy it was to make that fight happen? Well, that's usually how easy it is for any professional boxer to get in the ring and fight each other. It's just that simple. When two fighters want to fight each other, they get in the ring and they fight. Bottom line. It's very simple. Let's stop complicating things. Brian Norman Sr. is doing more talking for his son. I said this before weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again. I believe that Brian Norman Sr. wants to fight Jaron Ennis. He doesn't want Brian Norman Jr. to fight Jaron Ennis. He wants to fight Jaron Ennis through Brian Norman Jr. In other words, the father doesn't want his son to fight Boots. He wants to fight Boots through his son. And I'm doing way too much talking.